Happy Sunday. I'm trying to paste something on Instagram. I said I copied. There we go. It's a little slow. And I'm low on battery. Okay, so today I was going to talk to you about relationships. So I'm teaching a relationships course on Saturday. It's I'm collaborating with this amazing soul. His name is Michael Stone, and he teaches neurodynamic breathwork. It's not really teaching as much as he provides a platform for people to really access their highest intelligence, their inner guidance is what he calls it. And it's a series of, there's his music that he puts together a playlist of music. And as you listen to his playlist, it guides you through like this journey that you take. So it starts out with open mouth breathing, and you inhale and you exhale at a faster rate, and you open mouth, kind of like the Wim Hof method of breathing. You kind of fall into this state where it transcends the fear mind and the ego mind, and you'll feel your body become really alkalinized because you're breathing all this oxygen in, and your body naturally knows what you're able to process and what you're not able to process. So if you're ready, your body will process what there is to process. So for me, for instance, the first time I did this, I processed my fears and my regret and just emotions I felt about the kind of life I was living or the life that I was not living. So it was incredibly, incredibly powerful. If you're interested in releasing all this, I have this bug on my computer. If you're interested in releasing the repressed emotions that you might have, or things you've kind of like suppressed over the years, the neurodynamic breathwork is a perfect platform for that. And if you're interested in that, you can go to breathworkonline.com. But the reason why I came on to talk to you today, or one of the topics I want to talk to you about today, was this course that I'm teaching. It's a relationships course. And it's a 4-part series, and then the last 2 of the 6 parts will be on the relationship with money, which is perfect because I've recently launched a 28-day transformative course on money. So it makes sense for me to also teach that course in Michael Stone's platform. So the next 3 sessions, I'm teaching this every other week. So on the 8th at 12 noon, Texas time, which is 10 a.m. California time, I'm teaching a relationships course. And the course is how you can use the principles of breath work to transform your relationships, meaning everything you need to live your most powerful, to create and live your most powerful relationships already exists within you. Just like the principles of network. Just like the principles of neurodynamic breath work, the principles teach you that everything you need to live your most powerful life already exists within you. You have this inner intelligence within you, this highest intelligence. I call it the multiverse within you. Michael Stone calls it a higher intelligence, or your inner intelligence, your inner guide. So everything you need to live your most powerful life already exists within you. And everything you need to create your most powerful and meaningful relationships already exists within you. It's just many times I think many of us believe this, like we believe we have the power to live a certain life. We have the power to create abundance and wealth. We have the power to transform our relationship with money. We have the power to transform our relationship with ourselves. Like, I think most of us, hey Jeff, believe that we have this power within us. It's just that we just don't know how to access it. You know, like I truly believe that it's always better to come from a place of ownership and a place of empowerment versus one of fear and one of blame and shame and guilt, always, right? But then why is it that many times I fall into the trap of blame and shame and guilt? You know, why is it that I don't always pick empowerment? Why is it that I don't always choose happiness? And I think we're trained to be a certain way, and it does take something. It takes a practice. It takes like a continuous, conscious effort to transform that. And that's the power of having a practice, having a neurodynamic practice, having a journaling practice, a meditation practice. That's the power of having a life Sherpa in your life, a life coach in your life. It's just a practice. It's something that you do on repeat over and over and over until you become really good at it. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's that simple. So I put some links out there for you if you're interested in signing up for neurodynamic breath work, or you're interested in signing up for my relationships course. This is all at your fingertips. You do have the power to live your most powerful life. You do have the power to transform your relationships. And if you have no idea how to access that power, that's where Michael Stone comes in. That's where I come in. Of course, that's what we do. That is, we came here to serve, and this is what we came here to do. So very, 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 very exciting stuff. Anything else? That's it. That's it. Oh, so maybe you want a taste of the relationships course. One of the questions I received on the relationships course was, how do I transform my relationship with someone I deeply care about, like my son? And I don't want to drive my son away, and I feel like we've kind of grown distant over time, and that's the opposite of what I desire. So what can I do? And it's easier, obviously, for me to work with you one-on-one, so I can ask you a lot of questions to dig into specific details of your current relationship with your son. But one of the things I've learned is, one important thing to do is to always go back to your commitments. What are you committed to? What is important to you? And have you shared those commitments and intentions with the other person, your son or your husband or your mom or whoever? And when you share those commitments and you share those intentions and you share the space that you provide for that other person, you can collaborate and you can be on the same page, and you can share and see if you are on the same page. And then you can meet somewhere in the middle. Because if both people in the relationship are very clear about the intentions and very clear about the commitments, then everything just makes sense, right? Like if I'm committed that my relationship with my husband is strong and loving and kind and generous and non-judgmental and loving each other in all the ways that we are and all the ways that we are not, then if anything comes up that is not aligned with those commitments, it's very obvious, right? Hey, Carlos, Donnie. So when anything is out of alignment with those commitments, then you know if it makes sense or if it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then you simply go back to the main page, which is, well, this is not what we're committed to. So what options do we have here? Like what can we shift? What can we change? What can we dig into? Right? Like trying to think of an example. I give an example about like desiring to make sure that my son goes to school with that he's fully rested, and that he really has like everything we do on our end to make sure he has a capacity to learn, which means to me he's empowered and he has healthy self-confidence and he gets a lot of sleep and he's properly fed and he gets exercise and all that stuff. And so if he goes, Mom, I want to stay up until 11, because you're up late and I want to be up late too, I would know that I'm committed to make sure that he grows up to be a loving, kind, generous human being. And part of making sure that he has a good experience at school is that he's well rested, so that his brain is even at a capacity to comprehend and to ask questions and to learn. So when he says, I want to stay up till 11, it's very clear that it's not in alignment with my commitment that he has a capacity to learn at school, meaning he's not falling asleep and nodding off at school. And so then I'd be like, no, of course not. It's time for you to go to bed because, you know, you need rest. Otherwise, you're going to fall asleep during class. So it's kind of like that. You know, if you and your husband or you and your spouse are committed to something, or you and your son are committed to something, you know, maybe you're committed that, you know, he and you have a empowering, positive, communicating relationship, and you can share your commitments, and you can hear about your son's commitments and see, does he agree, does he not agree, like what's important to him, like what relationship does he desire to have with you. And then once you're clear about those things, any actions, any things that come up from that or after that, you know, are they in alignment with your commitments or not? And if they are, great. If they're not, then that's a moment for talking and discussion and finding a win-win solution and all sorts of stuff. So reach out to me if you have a specific problem or challenge you're facing in one of your relationships and you want to troubleshoot, and you want to know, you want some direction. I'm here. Send me a direct message and we'll look into it. That's it. Okay, now I'm done for sure. So that's kind of like an idea of what you might get in this relationships course on Saturday. The first half hour, I'll go over some concepts. The second half hour will be on mini coaching sessions. And then the third half hour will be on any questions and answer. And you never know, like, what topics are going to come up, because different people will have different questions. So anything is possible. But, you know, if it resonates with you and you end up going to the relationships course, most likely you will hear something that will apply to your life. And it's always perfect and divine and on purpose. Always. Always. With that, it's time to go to bed. So I send you love, light, profound clarity, infinite possibility to create the life you desire to live, one that's aligned with your soul's expansion and growth. Always. Always, always, always. Good night, Jeff. Good night, Carlos. And I will see you tomorrow. Here's to you living a soul-elevated life.